Hey guys, SoCal Val here. You are listening to the Hitting the Turnbuckle podcast.
Another Monday Night Raw is in the books. We had some good, we had some bad. It's been an interesting week for the wrestling fans. But as always, we are the Hit in the Turnbuckle channel. I'm your host, Andy Burrows. Yes, let's see if I can remember how to do this. I'm joined by my tag team partner, Mr. Adam Cousins. Ads, how are you, mate? What day is it today? Wednesday. Happy Wednesday, sir.
It is Wednesday. You're right. Yeah, happy Wednesday to you. It's been an interesting week for us as well.
Jeez, what an interesting week. There's things we can say. There's things we can't say on today's Hitting the Turnbuckle episode. We'll get into all of that later. But another Monday Night Raw in the books, Ads. What did you make of it? What did you like? What did you not like? We obviously were teased going into this. Is a certain Mr. Seth Rollins going to drop the title? They had already teased that CM Punk was going to be in the ring with Cody Rhodes. We had an okay-ish main event. I know me and you speak all the time and we text backwards and forwards. I know you said you really enjoyed Raw. I enjoyed it in bits. I didn't love it. I didn't hate it. There's things that I really want to get into. We can start at the beginning with Seth. But what did you like, mate? What did you not like?
I think you hit the nail on the head. I really enjoyed the bits. When I said I really enjoyed it, I really enjoyed the kind of bits that you've already mentioned. Yes, there was some indifferent bits. There was some, not so good bits, and we'll get into that. But I think they hit, when they announced those things like Seth, like Cody and Punk. And we said this the other day when we was on the channel with the Miniature Wrestling. It's about moments, everything, and it's about getting those moments right, especially going into the seasons that we're going into now, WrestleMania season. Obviously, Netflix is coming in a year's time, and the Rumble. They've got to hit their moments right, and they did hit the moments right.
I think maybe in the next weeks to come, now they know that probably more eyes might be on the product. I don't know if that's because of the Netflix, because of what's going on with The Rock and Roman. Obviously, The Rock was on national TV yesterday talking about, we can get into that. So it started off with Seth coming out and obviously cutting a promo, and everyone thought, is he going to drop the title? What's happening? He hobbled down to the ring. And a certain Gunther come out and basically said he's going to be coming for Seth and he's going to want the title. And I was kind of getting title versus title Hogan Warrior kind of vibes. And then obviously today we're reading, as we sit here recording this on a Wednesday, we're reading that Gunther is now the favorite to win the Royal Rumble and then to dethrone Seth pretty much straight away, they're saying, in a squash the next night on Raw. So my question here is, Ads, actually, I've got a few. Is Seth going to keep the title all the way to Mania? Because me and you just having a chat off air. Mania's not till April. We've got the Rumble, we've got the Chamber, we've got multiple Raws, we've got God knows what going on between. We said this last year. The build to Mania is long, and once the Chamber's done, you've got 6 weeks to fill.
Yeah,
you've got 6 weeks of Monday Night Raw to fill with Seth and Gunther. So my question here is, mate, is Seth going to be champion coming to Mania? How legitimate is his injury? Are we being worked like we've never been worked before? And why the fuck didn't Damian Priest just cash in on Monday when Seth couldn't walk?
you would think anyone with half a brain cell would have figured, hang on a minute, the champion is in danger here. It would have been easier for him to cash in on Monday. I'm certain that will play a part of the build. I'm sure he'll cash in, or at least attempt to cash in before Mania. Why he didn't do it Monday either. God knows why he did it. No, I think Seth's injury is legitimate. I do think that, but I think this is a case of WWE changing things on the fly. Will Gunther dethrone him before Mania? I'm not so sure.
Because if you're reading, it was meant to be Seth versus CM Punk.
It was, yeah. And now that seems to have changed, and I think we've kind of got that a prologue to that on Raw anyway. Before all of this stuff started, so. I don't know. Gunther was always going to be in my final three for the Rumble. He was always going to be in that stage.
Cody, Punk, Gunther.
Yeah, that's pretty. And then probably a SmackDown. They're all on Raw, aren't they? Maybe I had a SmackDown.
One of the Jimmy Uso in it.
I think Jimmy and my thing here with
setting up Jimmy and Jay somehow for Chamber.
I think Solo either eliminates them both at the same time, or they eliminate each other. Like, when they both go over the top rope and all that sort of stuff. That's that sort of thing. I can see that happening. So it sets up them for Mania as well. No, I think Seth is legitimately injured. I still somehow keep that title on him until, man, I don't know how. I mean, as you
For
say, there's a
April.
lot of build. There's a lot of build for him to
Yeesh.
do that. Um, but you do have enough stuff. I'm not saying that we don't know, but you have enough stuff going on around it that probably, I say that with a pinch of salt, probably, it probably means a lot of Gunter title defenses, which probably ain't a bad thing.
Yeah, the IC title is going to be obviously. It's been Kofi Kingston challenged him next week on Monday
Yes.
Night Raw, so that'll be a hell of a bang of a match. Seeing Kofi Kingston against Gunter. Obviously, it's been reported today that now Cody isn't going to quote unquote. I love doing my air quotes when we do this. He's not, and again, I think I tweeted off the Hitting the Turnbuckle Twitter account
You
today. Look,
did.
take these sources and this with a pinch of salt at this time of year. So it's being reported now that The Rock and Roman Reigns are going to headline WrestleMania, and Cody is not going to finish his story. So we mentioned yesterday when we were chatting. Do you think that it's a legitimate one-on-one match at WrestleMania, Roman Reigns versus The Rock for the WWE title?
Yeah, I heard a lot of things today, and as you say, it's always grain of salt stuff because
Especially this time of year.
the one that I heard was they were going to do a year build to 41. So
Rock and Roman.
yeah, you know what he did with Cena that year when
Oh,
yeah.
jeez. Yeah. They
So
announced it on Raw the night after, didn't they? Cena
yeah,
and Rock. And they
I was
said next year
there.
at my, yeah. And you're like, oh my God. Don't get me wrong. It kind of worked, but
Yeah,
I think, Jesus, don't get me wrong. I'm all for Roman keeping the title for another year. But
true.
if you're building Rock Roman for 41, but I got the impression when I heard the Rock's interview yesterday that I think it is going to be the main event. But where do we do with Cody? Is Cody just in a normal match with CM Punk? Obviously, we don't know the chamber side of it yet. The chamber's
Yeah,
going to play a big part. Whoever wins the
yes.
chamber could be ejected into match A or B, whatever it's going to be. I don't know. I'm confused here now.
The good thing is, and this is now is everything is now that, and this is it. It's not predictable now, is it?
No,
I
no,
know
no,
how
no.
many times have we sat and gone, well, that was predictable. This
Yeah,
they could have should
Dave
have done this.
Meltzer can tweet as much as he wants about, oh, this has been said and that's been said and this is happening. Right? No one knows. None of us know now.
The only people that know are probably the close people within the creative, Triple H, a couple of others. But we don't know, and that's the good bit now, because now we go on and we're like, well, we had the fact that Punk was going to win the Rumble. We pretty much nailed it and said he's going to win it.
Hmm?
That's it. Now we're sitting here 3 days before the Rumble, thinking, well, hang on a minute.
Gunter might, yeah.
Cody could still go on and win it because they've been throwing Cody off the scent for ages now. So
Hmm.
there's that bit as well. So that's the good thing. And I'm like having these conversations because we're having these conversations because we don't know.
No, and
And
that's
that
what
is better than knowing
it's
what.
a lost art in wrestling at the minute. The amount of times like your screenshot
Yeah.
saying to me, or I screenshot it to you, and you're like, oh, so and so's backstage at Raw, or this is happening, and you're like, oh, all right, well, I'll watch it, but I kind of know what's happening now.
Yeah.
Coming into this Saturday, I love the Rumble anyway.
Yes.
FYI, if Hogan's music's hit, I lose my shit.
You won't.
He's teased he's got one more
I
Rumble in
know.
him.
He's
Just
teased
saying.
it.
Just saying. I'm just saying if he's in it, I might lose my
Keep
shit.
die getting thrown over the top.
Yeah, Tree. No one wants to see Hogan die. As much as he'll always be a host.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, I don't know, mate, going into this Saturday. And that's what's going to make the Rumble even more interesting. We had our first match on Monday Night Raw. We had
Oh yes.
Imperium versus the New Day. Wow. What we always talk about this kind of like the moments, and these are the kind of matches. Geez, mate, that was like a pay-per-view WrestleMania kind of match. Ended in a double count out outside of the ring. Getting the only thing I didn't like about this, the match ended great, and they done they got thrown through the tables, etc. They didn't have to pan in on the camera with all the cushions underneath.
No, they didn't have to do that. But
You're talking about the other day how we rewatch it and we notice these things. I rewound and I was like, oh no,
see, we
all the
don't just
cushions.
we don't just read it off the internet.
Yeah, there's cushions there, and I was like, "Oh my god, there's not just one cushion. There's loads." Don't get me wrong, the match itself, though, incredible.
I think barring that bit, and I did write that down in my notes, barring that bit, but I also put down written in my notes that says this is the closest you're going to get to the Attitude Era in terms of that's crazy stuff that goes along whilst they're in this PG thing or whatever they're doing. And I've loved this. I've loved the fact that Imperium and New Day have gone to town. We've had injury. We've obviously had the injury thing. We've had to get you back from that. We've had them just literally just going out there, just having these type of I wouldn't say hardcore matches, but just really sort of stiff style matches. What we saw in the Attitude Era and what we loved about it was that and the unpredictability. We're getting the unpredictability just in a different form now, whereas things are getting leaked and they're not true and all of that sort of stuff. And you'll have people backtracking on everything what they're saying, and in a couple of days, we only, if this doesn't happen at the Rumble Saturday, they'll have Meltzer and people will be backtracking. Well, that's what we were told, or so and so got it wrong, and all this sort of stuff. But it's the unpredictability, and it's just letting them like go. Let's say go hard, really, because this what these two teams are doing, and it is brilliant. I loved it. Apart from the cushions, of course.
Yeah, mate. Apart from it, it's just me being really picky and just pretty like we don't like we said, we just don't get the results of the internet. We do actually sit down and watch Monday Night Raw. I love the match. It's going to be interesting to see what they're going to do. I think the Imperium side of things is going to be interesting now. Where if Gunther goes that way, what happens? Do Imperium stay together? Do they split them up? One go to SmackDown, one go to NXT. There's so many things NXT. You've got so many things that they could do with it. I love Imperium. I think they're a really good tag team. But do you think they go their separate ways? Maybe have a little singles run?
They can. All three of them can do it. I mean, Gunther we know. Kaiser's great, and Vinci's just as good.
Vinci's amazing.
Yeah, again, and the only thing about it is then what, as you say, other than splitting them up and going to different brands, how do you do it in a way that you don't lose them either? Because the problem is you go single and then there's nothing for you, and then you're in catering, and then you're in NXT, and then the next thing you know, you're showing up in front of 1,500 people on Dynamite, like this week, for argument's sake. Well, that's
I do the AEW jokes.
That's how many tickets they've sold up until today. That's the only reason I've said it. But
Dave, I mean, when you're watching, it wasn't me. I didn't do it. It wasn't me.
Okay.
I don't know.
I'm allowed one every now and again. But the fact of the matter is that's the problem the WWE have got that you can get on the WWE if you're not booked right as a single, when there's only certain amounts of time and there's only a certain amount of titles and there's anything else. So they've got to be careful, but they're more than capable of going their separate ways and being a success.
Yeah, agreed. We then move on to Ivy, Nile, and Valhalla.
Yes.
Wow, dude, I really enjoyed this match. I don't think Valhalla knows how to have a bad match. Obviously, she lost this one. I'll get in the win. Great finisher, by the way. A lot of people poo-pooed at this match online. I really enjoyed it. I can't remember the Twitter account I follow. And they grade Monday Night Raw. They gave this like a C or C minus. I was like, wow, I thought it was a banger. I mean, we've kind of poo-pooed the women's division of the last few months and Raw, but obviously the whole Charlotte Flair thing didn't really help. By the way, her rehab, she's absolutely killing that. I've been following her on Instagram. She's going to be back quicker than you can shake a stick at. Don't be surprised if you see her not long after WrestleMania. SummerSlam, who knows when you might see her do something. What did you make of this match, mate?
Yeah, I enjoyed it. I thought it was good. I've always liked Ivy Nile from NXT anyway. She's got everything. She's small, but she's got the power. She's got the look. She's got the athleticism.
Her body's ridiculously strong.
Yeah, exactly that. She's got a lot of things there that she's more. I mean, even Dave, when Dave watched Raw a couple of weeks ago, he was even taken aback as how good that she was, and that she was only on Raw, a couple of weeks in, I think, at that point. So, and even Dave said that she was, if she won the Rumble, there would be no complaints. From his side of the things, and this match was good. I mean, Valhalla doesn't get a lot of ring time because she's normally with the Viking Raiders, or at least Ivar at the minute, while Eric's rehabbing or getting over injury. So they can go, and it was really good, and I enjoyed it, and I want to see more of Ivy Nile as well.
Yeah, well, while we're there, let's segue to Ivar versus Chad Gable. I'm probably my favorite match of Monday Night Raw. I mean, I know we had the New Day at the start. For me, I'm giving this an A minus, an A. I thought this was incredible. I thought the ending was really good. I think what they've done with Ivar is really good. Do you think they've dropped the ball? Is probably the wrong word with Chad, because he was on that. We always talk about that trajectory and where you're going. He had that whole IC run where we thought, wait on a minute, maybe they could put the strap on him. He's not back in the mid-drift and the mid-cards now, but he's kind of... Well, we're going to get to it in a minute as well about The Miz. He had a little uprising where the crowd seemed to have been, and he's now kind of dipped. Is that purely because it's Rumble, Mania season? We're talking Roman, we're talking Rock, we're talking John Cena possibly, we're talking Punk, we're talking Cody. Is these guys... Getting lost in the shuffle is probably the wrong word, but are they just kind of... I don't know. They seem to be there, and now they're just, bobbing along. I thought the Chad Ivar match was great.
Oh, the match was brilliant. Yeah, the match was fantastic. I mean, ever since Chad lost in the Continental title match with Gunther, the last time, he has gone a bit forgotten about. Been a bit, doing silly little stuff with Tozawa and training Maxxine Dupri and things like that. So there is an element of them kind of just dropping the ball of him to such. You're right, now it is difficult because you've got so much stuff going on with the Rumble, with the Manias, with all these other bits and pieces in between. He is, and the Miz to a degree, although he's starting to pick up again now, funnily enough. Sort of been forgotten about to a degree. But yeah, I think right now it's just so much other stuff going on. But prior to that, I don't know, maybe it was just the fact that he had lost to Gunter, and that what else could he do, really, I suppose.
Yeah, no, interesting to see what happens with them, mate. While we're talking about it, Dominik Mysterio defeated The Miz.
Tom and Nick.
Yeah, in an okay match. Obviously, what's his name? Oh, my mind's gone blank. It was ringside. Finn Balor he was told to be more aggressive, and got a little telling off from Mommy. What do you make of where they're doing with the Miz and the whole Dominik Mysterio thing, and Damian Priest and all that, and the Judgment Day? Are they? There's rumors that they could be splitting up after Mania, and with big rumors, especially the cash in. But I thought it was an okay match. Obviously, Mysterio picking up the win with some outside interference. It was okay. I didn't love it. I didn't hate it. Where are you with the whole Judgment Day thing right now? Are they still, for you, doing? I'm kind of, I don't know. I'm not bored, but I'm not invested as much as I was. Probably the right word.
Yeah, one of the things to remember is Balor's contract is up right after May.
Remember you told me that last
and
week.
There's no discuss. Well, again, reports. This is all reports, but we don't know this for a fact. But there's no even talks have not even started, according to the the sources. So potentially the split, because it would make sense if Balor goes. There's your leader gone for a start, and it has been a bit hit and miss recently. I don't know. It's been.
I'm getting bored of the R-Truth stuff. People don't come at me for that. It was funny for a few weeks, but now obviously cost him. We'll get into the Damian Priest and match later. We all know what happened there. I'm kind of like, it was funny for a while. Don't get me wrong, and I love funny. If comedy's done right in wrestling, it's brilliant, and there's not many better people than R-Truth. I think he's a genius at it. I'm kind of like now, it's a bit every week's a bit same for me. I don't know what you think. I could be wrong.
Yeah, as you say, it was funny to begin with, and the odd thing here and there is funny, but multiple segments don't quite work after a certain time. And again, this kind of degrades Judgment Day, because it's really, but R-Truth and the Miz nowadays. I mean, DIY, I think I've got a shot next week at the tag titles.
They interfered in the match.
Yeah, which we'll get involved.
We'll get to. But again, I'm not too sure about DIY. The original run, that NXT were great for them too, Ciampa. But I don't know.
And see him winning it next week.
Yeah, could do.
I think it might happen. I think it may happen next week. I think they lose next week, the Judgment Day. I mean, they've lost tag titles before, haven't they? It's not the first time.
It's not. Do they need the tag titles? This could be the beginning of the quote unquote end. It's probably my third air quotes this episode. I don't know, mate. Who sees? Who knows what's going to happen? Moving on to something in my notes here. Nia Jax's promo interrupted by Becky Lynch and Bayley. It was pretty much just a Royal Rumble tease where Nia just lobbed them both over the top rope and said, "Look, I'm a badass. I'm going to win the Rumble." You're not. Becky Lynch is probably going to win.
I think Bayley's going to win it.
You reckon Bayley wins? Okay, but what did you make of the whole Nia Jax promo? She still, still can't cut a promo to save her life. Just facts. I mean, I think she's got better in the ring since she's returned.
Oh, definitely.
Like 1,000 times better in the ring. So kudos for that. Promo, not great. Obviously, this has been thrown into turmoil with the whole Charlotte Flair thing. This was going to go in a completely different direction. I mean, Bayley wasn't meant to be doing what she's
Bayley's on SmackDown, don't forget.
Bayley's on SmackDown, and obviously she turns up on Raw and interrupts, and you're kind of like, oh, okay, I suppose it's Mania season. Everyone's going to be on every show. But what are you making of more importantly, what are you making of going into the Women's Rumble? So you think Bayley could come out on top of that?
Yeah, I was really undecided about who was going to win this, and I'm still on the fence a little bit. I'm leaning towards Bayley. Because the women's one was really open for a while. I mean, say me and Dave talking about it, it was like Ivy Nile could be a dark horse, and I'm still expecting Ivy to last a while in there. I just think recently there's been I mean, Bailey and Becky will be the two. I'm not saying they'll be the last two, but they're going to be two of the last few in there for sure. I just think what they're going on with damage control and they're kind of pushing her out of that a little bit. And then her to win the Rumble and then to choose to go against EO as a kind of, you remember like the time when Batista and won it and he chose against Triple H, who was the champion. And or they could even do the whole evolution thing with Randy Orton when he won the world title. They had him on the shoulders and they dropped him off, didn't they? And they could do the same with Bailey on
They've
SmackDown.
kind of teased it backstage, didn't they? Where she's been like
Yeah.
that side of the segment and they've all wandered off. And yeah, this is one thing where you're like, this is happening because it was originally meant to happen with the storyline before Charlotte Flair got injured, and yeah, it was meant to happen then.
Because I think originally, again, before the discussions with Mercedes or Sasha broke down, they were going to basically reunite the Four Horsemen against.
Do you think Sasha's in the Rumble?
No, she's definitely going to.
AEW.
Yeah, I think that she'll be.
Are you going to give your head a wobble? Or can we quote you on this? Because remember last time you said you were going to give your head a wobble.
That was a Punk.
A certain CM Punk turned up.
Yeah, as I said when we spoke last time, I'm going to refrain from saying that because these things do have a habit of coming back and biting you in the arse. Look, anything. She's not signed anywhere. So while she's not signed or she hasn't shown up anywhere, it's free game. But I think if I was hedging my bets, I would say she will be in AEW.
I'd rather see her in TNA, you know that.
That's a great show. They're great guys, TNA.
I would rather see her in TNA. I think they're, what they're going to be doing in the next. We talk about WWE and Netflix. What TNA are going to be doing in the next 12 months.
Don't be surprised if they get a big TV deal as well at some point, or a TV. They're on AXS at the minute, and
yeah,
I think they'll be. I think they'll be getting somewhere soon.
Yeah, give them a few months. I reckon they could be. Let's move on to. We talk about Nia Jax not being able to cut a promo. If you ever want to know how to cut a promo or just learn anything about wrestling promos, CM Punk and Cody Rhodes probably put on one of the best promos I've seen on wrestling TV in the last X amount of years. I thought it was incredible. I'm more American Dream than you are, Punk said, citing Cody's father. He was mentioned a lot. Cody said he's more CM Punk than CM Punk. He backed up what he done. Yeah, they talked about the pipe bomb. This was pretty much WWE creative going, we trust you two to go out there and do this promo. This is how long you've got. That sounded like them two had just come together, and that was more a Cody Rhodes and a CM Punk promo, as in I reckon they just done that purely themselves. I don't think there was much creative. I think bullet points needed to be hit. They've kind of teased with like we said at the start of the show, the kind of now the whole Cody Rhodes not finishing the story. They're going to it's pretty much nailed on that CM Punk's going to face Cody Rhodes at the Rumble. But then if Punk wins the Rumble, this comes back to the teasing that this does come back to Gunther winning it, Punk getting eliminated by Cody getting eliminated by Punk. Punk's advertised for the Chamber. They might have a little face-off, a little scuffle, and then boom, 6 weeks build to they could main event night one at WrestleMania. What did you make of the promo? Where do you think they're going to go with it? Are we nailed on for WrestleMania? Me and you were 24 hours ago. We were like Punk's winning the Rumble. 24 hours on from where me and you spoke yesterday, and you quote unquote, that's my fourth one this episode, Gunther's winning the Rumble. Amazing promo, mate. But how you get the crystal ball out, Ads? How are you seeing this? How are you seeing this develop over the next few months?
I rub my head.
Yeah, well, it's the same thing.
But anyway,
I do think Rach just sit there of an evening, just give you a little head rub.
That could have gone really wrong quite quickly.
Yeah.
Well, that's for a discussion for another time. The promo itself was just absolutely unbelievable. Wow. I mean, that picture that they put out, and I've said it to so many people, of how to sell a pay-per-view without saying a word. Yep. And you just had those two guys face to face. Promo was great. It was kind of how each of them are their own person, in a sense of how each are each other, rather than how they're their own person. You're right. I don't think this had a lot of creative. I don't think they had a script thrown at them. I think it was hit those points, but you guys are good enough to go out there and do what you need to do without us needing to write shit for you. And they absolutely nailed it out of the park. Where do I see it? This is the beauty now. I don't know. I really don't. And that's what I want to be. I want to be sitting here saying, I don't know where it's going, or I don't know what they're doing with this, or I don't know who's going to win the Royal Rumble, because I
You've
don't.
got to throw into the you've got to throw the chamber into this though, as
You've
well,
got
because we
to.
still don't know what if you win the chamber, what the are you going to be doing? Are you in the main event at WrestleMania? Are you getting a shot at the Intercontinental title? Is there going to be a belt on the line in the chamber? Could the IC title be dropped in Australia? I think something mega is going to happen in Australia. Like I said to you yesterday, where me and you are going to be like, oh my fucking God.
Yeah, they've
We
got
didn't see that coming a million miles. There's got to be something on these chamber matches. They always are. They're not just having an elimination chamber just for the hell of it. Something's got to be on the line.
I mean, the men's one, it could even be that Seth has to vacate it later on down the line. I mean, again, this is just book fantasy in your head. We're good at that one here. Is that Seth has to vacate? They put the chamber on for the men's one. Punk might win it. Punk might be in it. Punk might win it, or Seth vacates. Punk wins the Rumble. Seth vacates. The winner of the chamber goes on to WrestleMania to face CM Punk.
Oh yes, yeah, mate. Honestly, there's so many superlatives. Can't say it. Tried my best. You've got to factor in the Rock at the chamber as well.
Yeah,
apparently being pretty highly touted that he's gonna be in Australia, so that leads to the whole Roman Reigns thing.
going to appear in Neighbours, isn't he?
Yeah, it's back now. It's on Amazon Prime.
I know.
It's not as good as EastEnders, but okay.
I didn't go there.
Love Island's really good this week.
Fuck off.
Okay, righto. Yeah, I don't know what's going to happen there. I think everyone seems to be forgetting the chamber because we're so excited about the Rumble. But the chamber, you've still got to factor in Randy Orton. You've still got to factor in the Usos. You've got to factor AJ Styles, what's going on over there, Drew. So all this, you're probably going to have a SmackDown and a Raw chamber. But there's so many factors that can come in because we're just all assuming that it's going to be Rock and Roman. Well, there's plenty of other people on SmackDown going, hang on a minute, unless the Rock wins an elimination chamber match, and whoever wins the chamber gets to face Roman Reigns, and the Rock wins the chamber. I don't know if you'd put in the Rock in the elimination chamber though. Fucking hell, you imagine the insurance cost that WWE have to take out for that. That's why they signed a Netflix deal, mate. Because again, they're going to need to cover that. If you put the Rock in the elimination chamber. And there's so many other people, I don't know, the fucking God knows how many 3 months we are away from Mania. We haven't even talked John Cena. We haven't talked Brock Lesnar.
Logan Paul.
You've got Logan Paul still. You've got 2 nights to fill. This is kind of probably the first year where I'm like, I'm actually quite glad it's 2 nights. I was very traditional. I like the one night. And this year, I'm kind of like, you might need a 3rd night. This is ridiculous.
Literally, I was about to say that.
You might need to bung fucking something on Raw on the Monday just to cover everything. But yeah, you've still got Lesnar. You've still got, we don't know what's happening with Orton. You've got John Cena.
Lesnar originally was going for Gunther, wasn't it?
Yeah. So
Gunther wrestled twice.
Who's to say they don't put the IC title on Brock Lesnar?
They might do. I mean, who's to say Gunther don't wrestle night 1 and 2?
Yeah. Anything could happen. Indi Hartwell, Candice LeRae versus Shayna Baszler and Zoey Stark was fucking awful. I don't know I didn't really enjoy it. Baszler and Stark getting a win. It was right. Yeah. What did you think?
It was what it was. It was a throwaway before the main event.
Shayna Baszler, since bloody Ronda Rousey's gone, and they give her the big build up because you beat the living bejesus. Ronda Rousey could be in the Rumble. Never say never.
It's possible. I
mean,
know
she's been on Ring of Doodah.
She's on Ring of Honor a couple of times.
Yeah, she's done that a couple of times in front of like one man and his dog. I think she could potentially be in the Rumble. It's a spicy, but yeah, this Baszler and Stark getting the win for me didn't really do nothing. Let's get to the main event, mate. Drew McIntyre and Damian Priest. Not what I would put as a main event of a Monday Night Raw. Obviously McIntyre getting the win. There was interference from a certain R-Truth trying to picking up money or something.
Trying to get the code for the
trying to get the code. Mate, honestly, see, for me, this did nothing. And this is the whole comes back to what are they doing with the Judgment Day? It comes back to what you said for ages. What are they doing with Drew? Contract. Is it up? Is it not? Is he leaving? Is he staying?
He's definitely going.
Are they going through the motions with him again? Another one I wouldn't mind seeing in TNA, by the way. Just going to throw Drew out there.
He was in TNA, wasn't he?
He had a great run in TNA. But everyone's just assumes they're going to AEW. I'm throwing TNA into a lot of these mixes now, watching the moves that they're making. What did you make of the main event, mate? For me, it was a big miss. It was okay. The ending was all right. Again, they didn't leave me at the end of the show going, I've got to watch next week. I'm watching
Yeah.
next week because of Cody and Punk and
And it's the
and
Rumble.
Gunther
It's
and Seth.
it's the Rumble, the Raw after the
Raw after Rumble. So
Get it
that's
out.
why I'm watching Raw next week. This didn't leave me going, what the fuck's going to happen at the Rumble? It wasn't them kind of off the air moments where you're like, oh my God. It was just like, oh, that's the end of Raw.
Yeah.
What did he do?
They could have moved that Cody Punk promo to the end
I would have had it at the end.
because,
Gone
as
off
you
the
said,
air with them two face to face.
that's kind of what you want, isn't it? When you think Raw, you think, Jesus, you need to watch. I mean, they've done a good job of needing to watch the Royal Rumble. I mean, that, if you was well, you shouldn't be umming and ahhing about watching the Royal Rumble, but the fact that, if you were thinking that promo, they would do it. But if that ended Raw, not only did it want to get you to watch the Royal Rumble, it would have thought, Jesus, I need to see A, the Rumble, and B, Raw. But maybe they thought that the end of the Rumble, what's going to happen in the Rumble will make you think, shit, I need to watch Raw. So perhaps that was maybe the thinking. Agreed, the match was a throwaway, really. I mean, it was good, but yeah, our truth bit, I mean, Damian Priest and he needs to cash this in and lose this.
It's going to be a failed cash in, isn't it?
Well, if it wasn't going to be, it would have cashed it in Monday.
You've got a man on one leg.
Literally. And you could have just easily come in and just smashed him and beat him for the pin, beat for that title. So the fact that he didn't, I'm a believer that he's not.
Does it say more where WWE are, as they'd rather? I'm not sure I 100% agree with what you said at the start about him being champion at Mania. I've got a funny feeling but you might be right. You might actually be right. Does it say more where WWE are, that the fact that they might risk having Seth have it all the way to Mania than put it on anyone else right now? Because it could be easier just for Gunther and somehow get it on Gunther, like you said at the Chamber. Is it where WWE are right now in their creative thinking, going, right, we think Seth's going to be healthy by Mania, which is in April. We're in January now. We're going to keep it on him all the way till WrestleMania. Does that speak more of WWE creatively, or how little they think of Damian Priest right now?
Very good question.
Thank you, sir. Nice.
Yeah, that is good. I mean, I don't think they think less of that or less of Damian Priest. They obviously had plans. That's the way to think about it. They had plans, and whatever those plans are, they're probably doing their best not to deviate from the plans. I'm sure there's going to be a cutoff with Seth, and I'm sure they're saying, right, we'll try and do this, but if by this date, then if you're not good, or you see the doctor again and he says X amount of time and it's after Mania, then we're going to take it off. The other part of it is, if Damian Priest did win it, the title, it would literally be like a transitional 4 week.
I don't reckon. I reckon it could be a Kane at the King of the Ring and Austin won it back the next night on Raw.
And then that degrades him more potentially than doing this, because you make him look stupid as a champion. And my thing is, if he's going to be the champion, he needs a decent enough reign. And
someone from the New Day, someone from the Judgment Day, do they cost him the cash in?
Yeah, I think so. I think that's
how the whole.
Yeah. I'm hoping it ain't R-Truth.
Because imagine that, Damian Priest versus R-Truth at Backlash in France.
Yeah, well, so it's France. I can have it, but we don't need it. We don't need it. But yeah. I think someone from Judgment, I think like JD McDonald, or even Dominik might intentionally get involved, or even Rhea Ripley, because they had a bit of a to-do.
Backstage, yeah, she weren't happy, was she?
No, old mammy. But
by the way, how hot does she look?
She's mammy. She's always on top.
Woo! Yeah, that's a whole different podcast.
That is, but yeah, I don't know. As you say, it went off the air. It went off the air. Not really saying I don't want to watch it next week, because we will, because of the Rumble fallout. But if it was a general Raw,
yeah, you'd be like,
oh, fuck this.
Yeah, I know what you mean. What grade are you giving Raw this week, my old mucker?
7.5.
Yeah, I'll go with you on it. Yeah, I'll go 7.5. 8.
Last week, the best show on TV was TNA by a country mile.
They are upping their game, TNA. They are coming up on the rails. But ads, we've got something quite important to announce, mate. Why don't you tell all our viewers what's coming up with MIT? It's just a little something. You might want to throw it in there. Just if you don't want to.
Yeah, I mean, you may have seen it already, because we have already posted it. A nice little video. My editing skills are coming on.
Yeah, you're getting good at this, mate. Since I've had my little break, I don't want to say I should get divorced more often, but your editing skills have got they're really good, mate.
The other one I sent you was good.
Yeah. When we dropped that one, mate.
That one's good. But we do have a former WWE tag team champion. He is, isn't he? Yeah, he was with Rhino of all people as well.
Rhino, yeah.
We one of
And
the
he was in one of the best bands ever.
he was part of 3MB.
Mm.
And yeah, he's coming on the show. He's just left actually TNA. He's not long left TNA. So coming soon. We always say coming soon. We don't have to give dates away just because things do.
Yeah,
Well,
it could go
we
peak time with
will be able
wrestling.
to
One
give
thing
you
I've
dates.
learned from wrestlers is don't ever put dates on things because their schedules and change from day to day, minute to
Yeah,
minute.
so he will be coming soon, and it'll be Heath Slater or Heath Miller or Heath, whatever you want to, whatever he goes by the name of now. Actually, when we say that, we will be able to say a date soon of another thing that we've got because we get it, yeah, that will be a confirmed date, not with Heath, but something else. And we should be able to hopefully announce that by the end of the week, I would have thought. But that wasn't even the thing that I when I said game changed and all that stuff. That wasn't even this.
No, I know what that was.
This just even happened today.
This is like an amuse bouche. This is like the teaser to the main the amuse bouche. Sorry, I've got my Del Boy hat on, mate.
Yeah, you do, yeah. But
full
I mean,
Del Boy.
the last few weeks, I mean, we've sat here and done this for 18 months or so, or whatever it is, or just over a year. And when you do these podcasts, and we have a load of fun, whether it's me and you, me and Dave, all of us put together, Parker and guests, or on your own.
Fiona,
And
yeah,
you do
everyone.
Fiona as well. Yeah, can't forget Fiona. And we do all this because we love doing it, and all the. But you then get those little messages or those little emails that make what you do worth it. And today, for sure, was that day.
Yeah, when you screenshotted me a certain said email this morning, I was like, holy. Yeah.
And that is everybody chipping in together with everything that we do. Chris, Rachel, obviously doing the social side of it as well, and the pictures, because you don't look professional unless you've got the pictures to back it all up. You got some great hosts like us too, and Dave's all right. that Dave's great, Fiona's great, and yeah, that email today was the sort of the payoff to what we've been doing for the last year or so of our time.
Yes, mate. Couldn't agree more, mate. I know we've got some more interviews coming up. You're doing one tonight.
Adonis Payne, yeah, it was meant to be Jake Joshua. He's
Yep.
going to be doing that. So we've got the Ignite champion.
Yeah, we are 1 week away from being back.
Oh, that was an
at
interesting one as well. Shenley Road have been forced to open one more row of seats because they were getting emails from people saying we want to go, but we want to sit together. So there is now 12 tickets left.
Oh. And
you can sit together. It's buckle up level of sales in terms of ticket sales, but they've not quite got there yet, but they probably will. But that's that. Alex Windsor tomorrow. I'll tell you tomorrow. I can say this tomorrow. Francesca Oliver from Rev Pro will be on. Corey McRae, our good buddy of ours.
Good old Corey. Don't touch his belt. Get some white on.
He hasn't got a belt now.
Oh, yeah, just don't touch. Just don't go.
Yeah, don't touch him. He'll be on Friday. And then we've got Alex Windsor. Obviously Heath and someone squashed in between, but we can't say that yet.
No. We've still got to review SmackDown and the Rumble
and Dynamite.
Yeah, I don't.
You don't.
Do you want me to do the Dynamite one now?
No.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Dynamite. Was really bought. Okay, sorry. Okay, righto, mate.
Me and Dave could do it. We've got the Royal Rumble to do as well.
Yes, looking forward to reviewing that.
I've got the GM of Tidal Wrestling coming on as well.
We are busy.
Have a chat about their show in February the 24th in London, the Iron Wheel Tournament.
Mate,
boys are in that.
Wrestling coming out of our ears.
We do.
It's a good time to be a wrestling fan. But it's been a pleasure as always. Go on, mate. Sorry. No,
plus a few other names, TBC, but a Hall of Fame. Well, not a Hall of Famer. Oh, yes, a Hall of Famer, but just not in wrestling.
Ah, yes. I've got it now.
And a Hall of Famer as well.
Yeah, not in WWE
Yeah.
No. Oh, yes, Sugar. I nearly said something else. Yeah, I was thinking my mind went somewhere else.
And the other one you'll probably know of.
Yeah, I've got it. Loads coming up. Anyway, if you want to check us out at HTT Buckle on Twitter, on YouTube, just go and type in Hitting the Turnbuckle. You can find us on Instagram. You can find us on Threads. You can find us on TikTok. Just type in Hitting the Turnbuckle. We are absolutely everywhere. We thank you as always for your support. Hit subscribe, like, all that jazz, all that good stuff. But
and the Ministry of Wrestling. Follow them.
And the Ministry of Wrestling. Make sure if you haven't seen the interview we've done with the Ministry of Wrestling, go and check out we've retweeted it. It's on the YouTube channel. Absolutely tremendous guys. guys. They're going to be with us again at Ignite a week on Sunday. So go and check out the Ministry of Wrestling. Honestly, amazing group of guys, and they're just as passionate and as crazy about wrestling as we are. So definitely go and check them out. But Adam will be back later with more interviews. I will be back later in the week helping him out as well. We're jumping on. But make sure you check us all like it on the socials. But this has been our Monday Night Raw review. I've been your host. I actually remembered how to do this. Andy Burrows. He's been Adam Cousins. Till next time, everybody, buckle down. Stay safe.